Good afternoon, I'm James Woolidge at the Abbeyfields Clinic. It's World Sleep Day today, so I just wanted to run through a few simple basics of how to improve your sleep. The first thing is what's called sleep hygiene. This is basically treating your bedroom as a shrine for sleep. And the key component I want to say about that before we start anything else is that you need 7 to 9 hours sleep. All the research tells us that that's exactly what you need. Anything less than that, which people think they're getting away with, they're not getting away with it. They may be thinking they are, but at some point there are health issues involved that are going to probably creep up and find them out. So 7 to 9 hours is the key component. Your shrine for sleep, that's really making sure your bedroom is cooler than the rest of the house, that it's set up to be clutter-free, so your brain knows when it goes in there, this is where I sleep, and making sure that you have no lights in the room, so even wearing a blindfold or cutting out auditory input, which is putting earplugs in, those sorts of things to make sure that you get really good quality sleep. No tech in the room. A lot of people pay lip service to that and they say, well, I turned my mobile phone off 20 minutes before. You shouldn't even have it in your room, or if you do, make sure you have an hour off before you go to sleep. Certainly no TVs or anything like that. Even the standby light on your TV can be disruptive for you getting good quality sleep. So it really is that you know you walk into that room and that's just for sleep. When you get up in the morning, you should get straight out of bed. Don't linger and lie in bed, because your brain will then start to understand maybe this isn't just for sleep, it's for other things like reading or chatting. It should just be get up and out and get moving. So they're the basic sleep hygiene things. On the other side of things, we've got these tactics, general tactics. One of the main things there is caffeine, which people again pay lip service to. And caffeine has a destructive influence on adenosine. This is a neurotransmitter that builds up through the day, and it gives us what we call sleep pressure. And adenosine wanders throughout the brain, attaching to receptors and switching bits off so that you generally start to feel tired. And caffeine, if it's floating around the system, that competes with the receptors for adenosine. But the problem is that caffeine's a little bit stronger, so it competitively competes. So if you've got any caffeine floating around in the system, that will stop you building up this sleep pressure. And we know that the half-life of caffeine now is about 6 hours. So if you have a double espresso at 12 o'clock, midday, you've still got half of that amount floating around in the evening. That's like saying I'll have an espresso at 6 p.m, which most people know is not a good idea. So make sure that you stop drinking coffee by 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning, preferentially. The other thing to note is that melatonin is the other hormone everyone's heard about, which is your diurnal rhythm. And to make sure that you get as much of that as possible, getting out and getting fresh air and daylight during the day boosts a hormone called serotonin. That's the twin sister of melatonin. The more you have of that during the day, natural light sources, the more you've got to convert later on when you put your blindfold on, or you cut the lights out. So the more you've got of serotonin, the more you'll have of melatonin. So making sure that if you do work in an office under false light or anything like that, you're getting an opportunity, especially between 10 and 2, to get outside at least for half an hour and really boost your levels of serotonin. That will help your sleep later on in the day. There's a list coming on after this with a little bit more detail on some of these sleep hygiene and day tactics that you can use, but they're the basics. And in my experience, unless you put all of them together and not pay lip service to a few of them, you've got to get all of the things working, and then your sleep will improve, not just 1 or 2 things. Hope that helps.